Well, today we started early again. I woke up at 5:25 when I heard a loud beep signifying that my power went off. It happens a lot in my area. I called and reported it, but the power came back on at about 6:38, and I had scheduled a call for when the power came on, and then I scheduled a wake-up call for 7:15 because I didn't know how long it was going to take. But I never did go back to sleep. I think maybe I dozed. But then I get my 6:38 wake-up call that the power came on. And then I get my 7:15 wake-up call at 7 o'clock. It's been a long morning already. And I know there's a lot of you who are doing that every day. But Nicholas gets dressed really quickly for school. So I really don't have to wake him up early. So after he put his costume on and got on the bus, I just putzed around, did some dishes. Yeah, because you know I don't have a dishwasher. In the new house, there are going to be 2 dishwashers. My husband has agreed that he will spoil me, and I can do a whole video on why I want 2 dishwashers, but I'm not going to do it today. So then I had to go to the dentist to get a broken tooth fixed, and we discussed getting a partial if my husband loses his job because he won't get the recommended medicine by well, I think he has another month to make a decision. He's already gotten a medical exemption from his doctor at the VA, and from what I understand, his employer had to cooperate with getting that because they do a lot of work with the military. They're a military contractor. However, they have now just recently put out a new notice saying that they encourage people to get whatever exemptions they need. So we're thinking that they're going to comply with that. Now, we don't know if they're complying with that out of the goodness of their heart, which I doubt, or if they're complying with that because of what the airline union did and what my husband's unions where he worked. Both of the unions said that they would, which are the Teamsters and the sheet metal workers, have said that they will sue the employer if they require this medicine to continue working. So that's more than likely why it happened, even though his employer has already gone to court to try to stop the unions from suing them. It's just a mess. So anyway, you know that I have a truck full of cleaned cardboard, so I have to drop that off at the homestead before I go on to an auction. So I am actually going to, after that, stop at a Walmart that I go to sometimes. It's not as large as ours, but I still like to stop there. I'm going to stop there and see what they do and don't have. So that's where I'm at today, and then I'll show you what I got from the auction. Alrighty, so I managed to get rid of the truck bed of cardboard, grabbed some black plastic to cover the item that I bought. I bought a chair. I know, it was advertised as a throne. I'm the queen. No, just kidding. I have a couple of other chairs. There's this one website that I really want to use to furnish the new house, and oh my gosh, the stuff is so expensive. So what I do is when I come across antique, old, vintage, new that looks old furniture and it's affordable, I will go ahead and get some with the intention of maybe refinishing it or reupholstering it for the house, because I honestly can't afford to pay $1,000 for a chair. You know, like a wooden chair that you sit at the dining room table, even if it is advertised as a throne. But I like the really ornate stuff. I also like really plain stuff. It all has its place, and I'm not really sure how I want to do the style here. So anyway, I grabbed that, and I'm only 3 minutes away from the auction pickup, and I'm almost an hour early because things didn't take as long as I anticipated, and it's raining. I had to even stop and pick up my rain jacket. But I found a Dollar Tree that's you know, 3 minutes away from this auction. So I decided to stop in here just to check out what they have. I'm always on the lookout for some chickpeas, and I took my grandson to the Dollar Tree for some littles yesterday, and I totally forgot to get dental floss, so I'll check that here. Okay, so I'm out of the Dollar Tree, and they didn't have any chickpeas. They had some lentils. There were not a lot of empty spaces. We're really short on paper products. They did have some toilet paper, some napkins, but there were it was only about half full. So this place is not as picked over as most. I just think overall they're not getting a lot of stuff in. I was able to get some toothpaste, the dental floss picks that we needed, and my husband, I told you before, is a creature of habit. He only wants to use this Colgate baking soda and peroxide toothpaste, and it's the one my grandson prefers as well. Well, they had a 2-point-some ounce size for $1, of course, and then they had 60% more, 4.0 ounces, same price. So guess which one I got. So I ended up getting, I think, probably 7 or 8 tubes of toothpaste, and I actually grabbed 10 of my dental floss picks simply because they had a lot, and I got like 2 of each kind. 2 kids, 2 for the back teeth, 2 this flavor, 2 that flavor, and those will just go in my storage, except for the pack that stays in my truck. And that's pretty much it, except, well, I did get red chili beans because they're cheaper here than they are at Walmart, and it was great because I was in the aisle in the checkout line, and a man behind me said, "Somebody's making some chili," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, definitely." And he said, "Oh, I don't blame you." I said, "Oh yeah, we cook it all in a big roaster." He's like, "I do too. My wife gives me a hard time because I make big pots of stuff and freeze it. I just went out and bought another freezer." And then he proceeded to tell me how he got, he's ordering half a cow, a lamb, a pig, and some chickens from a local farmer, and putting it in this new freezer. And he said it was an extremely good price, and he mentioned the price, and I said, like, yeah, the guy's doing this because he knows you, because he said it's all $2.50. And I'm thinking, there is no way a half a cow you're touching for $2.50, let alone a lamb, chickens. He's like, "Oh yeah, he's my buddy." I need a buddy like that, but I don't know if I think that was only $250. What do you think? I don't think so. But anyway, it was nice talking to him, and then he said, "Yeah, we're buying." He said, "Yeah, we're buying food because you can't make as much money in the stock market as the price as food is going up." And I just wanted to say to this guy, like, oh my gosh, you are the good woke, because, like, I have said that so often. There is nowhere I can invest my money as when I buy things on clearance or investing in food. There's no place I can invest my money and make that good of a return, you know, so that's amazing. But all right, now off to the auction, and I am still 45 minutes early. I really couldn't, and I'm sorry, I don't usually do videos like this, you know, facing the camera, so I honestly have no idea where to look. Here I'm looking at my pause button, and here I'm looking at the little circle that's the camera. So am I supposed to look at that, look at me? Because then if I look at, forget it. Okay, so I arrived at the auction about 15 minutes early. Nobody questioned me. They just took my money, and it only took me about 15 minutes to get the 2 items that I got, which was actually 4 boxes that I was able to condense to 2 of medical things like bandages and stuff, and I'll show you that later, and 2 table trays, 1 crutch of a set of crutches, and a walker. We don't need another walker in our medical supplies, so I will be giving that away, not on here obviously, because who's going to ship it, but it'll be on the internet somewhere for free, or I'll donate it. But when I donate those at the mission, they're real particular. They have to be perfect. This one looks really good because there's some kind of liability with used medical equipment. I'm not sure, but anyway, so it's raining, and I'm really thankful that I grabbed sheets of plastic. I'm looking back there in the back of the truck because I can see the sheets of plastic. I had to put my tonneau cover up. This chair was so large, thank goodness. There was another customer who carried it down from the second floor of this huge Victorian house. That's beautiful, stained glass windows. It was amazing. It's also being sold at auction. I think over the weekend, a live auction, which I'll probably follow. I won't attend. The house is beautiful, but it's in like the middle of I'm gonna say middle of town, and it's a town though, not a city, not a huge neighborhood. It's right next to an H&R Block. It's not something that I would be interested in, and it only has 1 acre, so I'm definitely not interested there. But it's if I were to purchase that, I would probably turn it into apartments and rent them out, but that's not my game. But anyway, so I did stop at Walmart, and after another man loaded the chair into my truck, and then I was able to cover it. And although it's gonna maybe perhaps get wet, and it's an old chair, I have to totally refinish it anyway, and I'm not even sure when I'm gonna get to that. I might even have it done professionally. So this makes 1, 2, 3, 4 chairs that I've purchased for the new house that kind of need refinished. And people say you destroy their value as an antique if you do that, but seriously. But if I can't sit on a chair because springs are sticking out the bottom, what good is it as an antique? And I kind of don't collect things. If I have things, I want them to be comfortable and pretty. So I did get a chance to stop at the Walmart, and I don't think anybody's going to steal the chair out of the back. Not that this is a great neighborhood, but that they'd be cold, miserable, and wet, and I don't think thieves like to be cold, miserable, and wet. So we shall see. I'm going to go in this Walmart and check out their canning items, and I'm not going to make a video in the store, but I'll definitely tell you about it. Okay, I was in that store for over an hour. I don't like that, but I tend to walk slow. So I needed to, my go-tos are always my go-tos, which are the clearance aisle and the canning aisle, and then the storage aisle, like where they sell the bins. I use the Sterilite stackers, and I can get the black ones online, but I really like the clear ones for storing certain things that I obviously want to just tell at a glance what's in them. Now for the freeze-dried food and other things like that, I definitely want the black ones, even though the Mylar keeps out the light. Okay, so I'll actually make a separate video of that Walmart maybe, but just in case I don't, I'll tell you in a nutshell. I ended up getting mouthwash. They had plenty of mouthwash. They had plenty of toothpaste. Toothpaste is when you get the 60% more, 25% more, like I did at the Dollar Tree. It's definitely cheaper at the Dollar Tree. Those little flossers, the single-use flossers, definitely cheaper at the Dollar Tree. Like per unit, not just, you know, I do per ounce, per unit, things like that. And then I checked out their clearance aisle. You know, lately Walmart's clearance aisle really isn't a clearance aisle. It's a, hey, somebody opened this, so we took $2 off. To me, that's not a clearance thing. I did, however, buy 2 climbing apparatuses that you hook in a doorway and use your fingertips, and they're rough like stones. So I thought Nicholas could use one, and then my son would. We'll probably mount one in the garage because I really don't want that mounted in my house, but we'll see. And then I went over to camping items. I needed a new case for a phone, you know, to make it waterproof. Not a case, but like you could put anything in it. Like they close with a Ziploc. Mine worked really good when we went kayaking, and I wanted another one, and I'm gonna probably have to just look for it online. They didn't have them here at all. Well, they don't have a kayaking section. I said this was a smaller Walmart. Cherry Pepsi's been out, if they have it at all. So I found 4 6-packs of the bottles for my son, and I got those. I was gonna get him a 24-pack case, which was $7.98 here, and a 12-pack was $5.98. So it was so much cheaper per ounce to buy the 24-pack, but honestly, like, it was too heavy for me. And yeah, I know that's ridiculous, but I can't lift that, and I can't lift a case of water. Let me see what else. Oh, I was on my way to the canning aisle, and back by the sporting goods, in that like kind of midway that they have in most stores that I've been in, there was a pallet that was like almost 4 feet tall and pretty much half gone though, of canning jars, different sizes. And so I took a picture of that, and then I thought, there's no wide mouths, and I kind of just want to concentrate on getting the wide mouth jars, and so I didn't get any. And then I went to their canning section, and it was totally empty. So that makes me want to tell you a little pointer. When you go to Walmart to the canning section, don't just look there, because they had two cases of tiny canning jars on the shelf in the canning section. And so you would have just assumed, hey, these guys are out of canning jars, and they weren't. They had half a pallet. They just didn't have them there. But otherwise, their canning section was pretty darn sad. And no lids, not even empty boxes from lids. And then I went down to the plastics aisle, and they did not have any of my Sterilite stackers. They did have other clear Sterilite bins, but I don't want to get those because they just won't work with mine. And if I end up having to decide to get a different type that won't work with my storage, or get a black one instead of a clear one, then I'm just going to use the black ones, because it would just be too ridiculous for me to get. I hate when I know maybe it's petty, but I want everything to be uniform and to fit together. I don't like when they change those and don't offer things, and Sterilite has done that quite. I've been a Sterilite customer for centuries. Well, maybe not centuries, but 30 years. So that's about it. I'm ready to leave. I did stock up on some jam and jelly, sugar-free and preserves. We don't get like just old grape jelly, so it was quite an investment. They think the cheapest one was $3 for the jar, and I mean, that's okay. What else did I stock up on? I think just the mouthwash is. I think I got 5 bottles of mouthwash. Again, we use alcohol-free mouthwash, although one of them I bought was really interesting. It was a mouthwash concentrate, and its number 1 ingredient was alcohol. I really want to learn how to make my own alcohol. Excuse me. Yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it? No, my own mouthwash, alcohol-free, because the one we use has just a few ingredients in it, and I'm relatively sure I could use that. But if you didn't know, in a pinch, if you don't have mouthwash, and probably even better than any other mouthwash you're going to get out there, is just to use coconut oil, because it's antibacterial, antifungal, antiviral, all that kind of good stuff. And that's it. So right now I'm going to go back to the cave, drop off the Queen's throne that I purchased that did not get stolen, thank goodness. And then I'm going to go home and unpack my stuff, and I will probably just go ahead and make the video. So I don't know when you'll see it, today, tomorrow. Okay, so here is the chair, and I'm 5'6", and so the chair is like a good 5 feet tall at the back. I don't know if I can spin this around. Oh, I can, good. So this is the chair. Probably can't even get it all in there, can I? But yes, oh, it looks nice and small there. But isn't that amazing? Now, obviously, the bottom is falling down. That is added material. That's not original to the chair. And then it has huge springs under there. But I really like this chair. And I have 2 other thrones that I guess you call these thrones, but I have 2 other thrones that are very ornate that my husband and I purchased at an antique store. It was crazy how I bought those. I walked right by them and didn't even see them. And he's like, huh. I said, what? He said, I was sure you were going to want those chairs. I said, what chairs? And he said, those chairs. And he pointed at it. I'm like, I do. So we got them. It was really nice, but we've only used them a couple of times. I just want to get them refinished. So I had to bring this here because it's going into the storage unit, and I will do a separate video on the, what are they called? Medical supplies. And I'm pretty sure I'm done for the day because I am just beat, and I've been up, like I said, since 5:20 this morning, and it is after 2, and I have to go home and get my grandson off the bus, get dinner, and all that kind of good stuff. And yeah, it's just a long day. So this will be the end of it. I don't know when I'm going to be able to put all these pieces together, and I don't even know if I'm going to edit them or if you're just going to have to bear with me being a miserable editor. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Let me know. Have you started doing those auctions yet? This is like, I really think they are one of the overlooked ways to get your things. And of course, yard sales, flea markets, live auctions, online auctions, not just eBay. You know what I mean? I'm talking about these estate sale online auctions where on eBay, thousands of people can see it, and on these online auctions, I doubt very much you will never run into thousands of people, mostly because the pickup day. You know, you have to schedule a time, and it's one day, and it's within 3 hours. They're not delivering this stuff to you. I mean, that would be great if they did. But anyway, and then, like, a lot of the furniture, huge antique furniture, goes so cheap. There was a really old knockdown cabinet that it was probably 7 feet tall, maybe 4 or 5 feet wide. I don't know. It was huge. And it sold for $20 because you had to get it from the 3rd floor to the bottom floor. And I would have bid on it. I would have loved to have it. I have the place to store it until I'm ready for it. I had nobody to carry it. They won't carry it. They won't load it. I mean, you could probably go there and hope to ask somebody to help you, but a lot of these people are senior citizens that work at these auctions, and they're not going to do that. And even if you're willing to pay, you can't always count on somebody having the physical strength to do that. And like I've told you before, everybody in our family works different schedules. There is no way I could have gotten people to, you know, my son, I'd have had to wake him up, you know, and he works nights. And my other son, he lives very far away. And the other son lives even further. And my daughter, well, she can't lift, and she works at home. And then my other son-in-law, yeah, you get the drift, right? I don't have to just keep going through that. But yeah, so, and I did talk to the woman in charge of the auction today, and I said, you know, I had a really big budget for that, but I had no way of loading it. And I said, if that's something you would consider, or even a service you would offer, I would have been glad to pay to have somebody load that for me. I mean, really, especially since it was sold so under my budget. And she just, you know, I don't think she'll do anything about that. I mean, but seriously though, if she would, her other customers, the people she sells for, would actually benefit as well. Anyway, like I said, I'm done. I always do that, don't I? I always say I'm done, and then I just keep going and talking, and I'm sorry. And I know this is probably, I bet you this is the longest video I've ever done. But, all right. Thanks for watching. What are you doing on your auctions? Where are you getting your preps that you're not paying full price? Be blessed, everyone, and thanks for watching.